Today's nearly 2% move comes courtesy of some of the biggest names pinging fresh highs of their own. Amazon, Apple, Alphabet, Meta, Netflix, and Tesla all hitting intraday records. And today's milestone comes about 4.5 years after the Nasdaq first crossed 10,000. The biggest gainers in the Nasdaq 100 over that period: NVIDIA, up more than 1,300%. Supermicro just behind that. Tesla, Broadcom, Palo Alto, each up more than 400%. So does today's action give the all clear for that tech trade? Guy.
All clear. I mean, I love that all clear. I mean, and so the 6 names that we just had up on the screen, I was looking at, I'm trying to figure out where have I been on some of these things. So Apple clearly missed a boat. Tesla, without question. Amazon, I've been quasi-ambivalent. The other 3, I mean, Netflix, Facebook, and Google, I think we've done a decent job. So all clear. I don't know, valuation on 3 of those names, you could definitely still make a case for, despite the fact that we've seen these unbelievable moves. The other ones, I'm not so sure. And couple that with the fact that yields on what people were saying was a soft CPI number actually went higher today, which one has to keep in the rearview mirror without question.
Yeah, CPI, I think, probably gave enough for the bulls, though, to feel that the Fed is in line for December. Disinflation certainly maybe is taking a pause, but inflation is not running amok. You have a PPI tomorrow. So back to big cap tech. What's exciting for market players is that the market itself has been going higher without the participation of mega cap tech, really outside of Tesla. And yes, Netflix is great, but the other Mag 6 are ones that I think, give or take, had not been giving us the leadership really for the last 2 months. What we saw today was semiconductors did lead the way again. A nice bounce on a relative chart to the S&P. So we were at some relative support yesterday. I brought that up. I mean, I just think if you are getting the kind of move we are getting from some of the names, and they all have little catalysts if you want to believe. I mean, Apple and Broadcom today talking about a server chip, their own way to get into the game. Broadcom reports tomorrow. I actually think some of the cyclicality of their business also could be decent. So if you want the market to take the next leg higher, boy, today was as good of a day as you could have asked for, because these are the names that are the horses.
Mm-hmm. Karen, you've been away for a while. Welcome back.
Yes, thank you.
What do you make of this rally you've come back to?
I mean, it just seems like animal spirits just, kind of running amok. It doesn't sort of matter which. Mag 7 was clearly really strong, but a lot of other things were, although with the exception of industrials, not. Mm-hmm. Financials, they've had a big run, but kind of lukewarm today. Bitcoin, again, topping 100,000 after pulling back to, 94.5. So I don't know. I feel like it's just animal spirits run amok, and I feel like animal spirits, they don't stop at fair value. Cool. They continue to go, So, I mean, I'm long. This is really fun. It will end, I'm sure. The VIX is really low now. Probably decent time to buy some protection, which I haven't done yet. But I feel like for right now, sort of, I don't know.
Yeah. When you talk about animal spirits, though, they're going after the biggest stuff right now. Normally, at this stage of the rally, you would expect it to be a lot of crap. And I'm not exactly buying what Tim's serving up here about, I look at the equal weight.
Bring it on.
Should we split it up?
Split them up.
I look at the equal weight. I look at the equal weight S&P, and it's up 16% in the year, right? And you look at, let's say, the Nasdaq, it's doubled up that performance. So what is that telling you? It's telling you that all the stuff that got us here, it continues to get us here. And so it becomes increasingly narrow.
Hold on a second. So let me. But semiconductors haven't made new highs since July. The Nasdaq hasn't made a new high to the S&P relative since July. So the horses haven't really been bridled and running. We've been getting financials. We've been getting other parts of the consumer space, discretionary. So I mean, I agree. We need these stocks. Well, but you can't tell me they have led the market for the last 2 months.
So every one of the Mag 7s at all-time highs. Apple's up 28% of the year. NVIDIA's up 181% of the year. Microsoft underperforms, and it's a little off its highs, but it's up 20% of the year. Google up 40% of the year. Amazon up 51% of the year. Meta up 80% of the year. Tesla up 75%.
You're talking about on the year. I mean, I know those numbers as well.
This is like $15 trillion or more in market cap, and it's half the weight almost of the S&P 500. It definitely is half the weight of the Nasdaq 100. So if you just look at the equal weight.
My point is that on a relative basis, these stocks have actually underperformed the S&P. They're starting to pick up steam, but if you look at the triple Qs to the S&P, they haven't made a relative high since July.
I don't know. A lot of our viewers are thinking about relative here. You know what I mean? Like they're actually.
Well, that was my point. Yeah. My point was that the rest of the market's rallying, and if these stocks now want to rally, they're going to take the market higher.
We split you guys up finally.
We had a clear as day. I was clear as day on that. So I mean,
Yeah.